Now, I'll begin with part 1 of the story. Part 1. First Contact and the Galactic Tournament Invitation. The skies above New Tokyo blazed with an otherworldly light, casting long shadows across the sprawling megalopolis. Citizens stood transfixed, their faces illuminated by the pulsing, iridescent craft that hovered above the city's tallest skyscrapers. After centuries of speculation and wonder, humanity finally had its answer. We were not alone in the universe. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, head of the Global Space Initiative, felt her heart racing as she studied the readings on her holographic display. The ship's energy signature was unlike anything their sensors had ever detected. As she coordinated with military and civilian authorities worldwide, a message arrived that would change the course of human history. People of Earth, the transmission began, its words appearing simultaneously in every language across the globe. We are the Galactic Federation, a coalition of spacefaring civilizations. We come in peace and with an invitation. The message went on to explain that Earth had been monitored for centuries, and now that humanity had reached a certain level of technological advancement, they were deemed ready for first contact. But it wasn't just a simple hello. The Galactic Federation was extending an invitation to Earth to participate in their grand tradition, the Cosmic Combat Tournament. This tournament, the message continued, is a test of martial prowess, strategy, and adaptability. Each participating world sends their finest warriors to compete in unarmed combat against representatives from across the galaxy. The results of this tournament often determine a species' standing within the greater galactic community. As the implications of this invitation sank in, world leaders scrambled to convene an emergency United Nations session. Dr. Tanaka found herself thrust into the center of the discussions, her expertise in xenobiology and advanced physics suddenly invaluable. "We can't possibly compete," argued the Russian representative. "These beings crossed the vast distances of space. Their physical capabilities must far exceed our own." "But that's just it," Tanaka interjected, her eyes alight with excitement. "They specified unarmed combat. This levels the playing field considerably. Our martial arts traditions might just give us an edge." After days of heated debate, a decision was reached. Earth would accept the invitation, and a team of the planet's top martial artists would be assembled to represent humanity in the Cosmic Combat Tournament. The selection process was intense. Dojos, gyms, and training centers around the world held qualifying tournaments. Fighters from every discipline imaginable, from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to Muay Thai, from Krav Maga to Kung Fu, competed for the honor of representing Earth. In the end, a team of 5 was chosen. Zara Chen, a prodigy in Wing Chun from Hong Kong, known for her lightning-fast strikes and impenetrable defense. Kwame Osai, a Ghanaian master of Dambi, an ancient African boxing style that emphasized powerful blows and ironclad durability. Sofia Vega, an Argentinian expert in capoeira, whose fluid movements and acrobatic kicks defied prediction. Ivan Volkov, a Russian sambo champion, equally skilled in grappling and striking, with a tactical mind honed by years of competition. Raj Patel, an Indian Kalaripayattu practitioner, versed in one of the oldest martial arts on Earth, known for its holistic approach to combat. As the team gathered for the first time at a secret training facility in the Himalayan mountains, the weight of their responsibility settled upon their shoulders. They weren't just athletes anymore. They were the defenders of Earth's honor and potentially its future. Zara, the youngest at 22, voiced the question on everyone's mind. What if we're not good enough? What if human martial arts are nothing compared to what's out there in the galaxy? Kwame, the eldest at 35, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Then we will have still done our best. But remember, these arts have been honed over thousands of years. They carry the wisdom of countless masters. We may surprise even ourselves. As they began their training, pushing their bodies and minds to the limit, news of the upcoming tournament spread across the globe. Humanity, for the first time in its history, was united in purpose. Every nation, every culture contributed what they could to prepare the team. Advanced training simulations were developed, drawing on the limited data provided by the Galactic Federation about potential alien physiologies. Nutritionists crafted diets to maximize the team's physical potential. Psychologists worked around the clock to prepare them mentally for the challenges ahead. The team nodded solemnly, the gravity of their mission clear. They were no longer just 5 individuals. They were the embodiment of humanity's fighting spirit. As they boarded the sleek alien craft that would take them to the tournament, cheers erupted from the crowds gathered to see them off. Flags from every nation on Earth waved in a colorful tapestry of unity. The ship's doors closed, and with a flash of light that outshone the sun, Earth's champions were off, hurtling towards the stars and into the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced. As the blue marble of their home world receded in the viewport, each team member silently vowed to give everything they had to show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. The cosmic combat tournament awaited, and with it, the future of Earth hung in the balance. The journey of a lifetime, and the fight for humanity's place among the stars, had begun. Journey to the stars and arrival at the tournament. The alien vessel cut through the fabric of space, carrying Earth's champions towards their destiny. Inside, the team marveled at the ship's interior, a blend of organic curves and pulsing energy conduits that defied their understanding of technology. Zara pressed her hand against a transparent panel, watching stars streak by at impossible speeds. "It's beautiful," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. "And terrifying," added Ivan, his eyes scanning the unfamiliar controls of the ship. "We're so far out of our element here." Their alien guide, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin who had introduced itself as Stan, approached the group. "We will be arriving at the tournament grounds in approximately 72 of your Earth hours," it said, its voice a melodious hum. "I suggest you use this time to acclimate to the ship's gravity adjustments and continue your preparations." The team nodded, still somewhat wary of their extraterrestrial host. As Stan glided away, Raj spoke up, his voice low. "We need to use this time wisely. We know nothing about our opponents or the environment we'll be fighting in." Sophia agreed, her usual playful demeanor replaced by intense focus. "Raj is right. Let's set up a rotation. While some of us rest, others can train and study the information the Federation provided about the tournament." As the Earth team settled into their new routine, they found themselves facing challenges they had never anticipated. The ship's artificial gravity fluctuated subtly, forcing them to constantly adjust their balance and movements. The air, while breathable, had a different composition that affected their endurance in ways they were still trying to understand. During one of their training sessions, Quaim grappled with Ivan, both men struggling to adapt their techniques to the unfamiliar environment. "It's like fighting underwater sometimes," Quaim grunted as he attempted to throw Ivan, "and in low gravity the next." Ivan nodded as he countered the move. "We need to be ready for anything. Who knows what conditions we'll face in the actual tournament." As the hours passed, the team pushed themselves to their limits, sparring, meditating, and poring over the scant information they had about the tournament and its participants. They learned that the competition would feature representatives from over 100 different alien species, each with their own unique physiologies and fighting styles. On the second day of their journey, San invited them to the ship's observation deck. As they entered, a collective gasp escaped their lips. Before them stretched a vista of unimaginable beauty, a nebula of swirling purples and blues, dotted with newborn stars. "The cradle of worlds," Ixan explained, its skin shimmering with what seemed like excitement. "Many of the species you'll be competing against originated from planets formed in this stellar nursery." The sight filled the humans with a profound sense of their place in the universe. They were no longer just representatives of Earth, but of humanity among the cosmos. As they neared their destination, tension began to mount. Despite their rigorous preparation, doubts crept in. "What if we're not ready?" Zara voiced the concern they all shared. What if we're outmatched before we even begin? Raj placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Remember why we were chosen, he said softly. Our strengths lie not just in our individual skills, but in our diversity and adaptability. We carry with us the fighting spirit of every culture on Earth. His words bolstered their resolve, reminding them of the billions back home counting on them. They were humanity's best hope, carrying the dreams and aspirations of an entire planet on their shoulders. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, San announced their arrival. The ship decelerated, and through the viewports, they caught their first glimpse of the tournament grounds, a massive space station that dwarfed anything humans had ever constructed. Its design was a breathtaking fusion of technology and artistry, with sweeping arches and glowing energy fields. As their ship docked, the team gathered their belongings, each lost in their own thoughts. They had trained for this moment, but nothing could have truly prepared them for what they were about to face. The airlock hissed open, and they stepped out into a bustling docking bay. The sheer variety of alien life forms moving about was staggering. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions hurried past, some floating, others slithering, many defying description. A small delegation approached them, a group of aliens as diverse as their surroundings. One stepped forward, its body a swirling mass of tentacles and eyes. "Welcome, champions of Earth," it said, its words translating directly into their minds. "I am Zixel, overseer of the Cosmic Combat Tournament. We are honored by your participation." The humans bowed respectfully, their training kicking in despite their awe. Quaim, as the eldest, spoke for the group. "We are grateful for the invitation and the opportunity to represent our world." Zixel's eyes blinked in what might have been approval. "You will be shown to your quarters. The opening ceremony begins in 6 cycles. I suggest you use this time to rest and prepare. The trials ahead will test you in ways you cannot imagine." As they were led through the station's winding corridors, the team couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. Everywhere they looked, there were signs of technology far beyond their comprehension. Gravity seemed to shift subtly as they moved from one section to another, and the air itself seemed alive with energy. Their quarters, when they arrived, were a surprise, a perfect recreation of an Earth-like environment. "We have attempted to provide you with familiar surroundings," their guide explained. "However, as the tournament progresses, you will need to adapt to a variety of environmental conditions." Left alone, the team gathered in the common area of their quarters. The reality of their situation was finally sinking in. They were about to compete in a tournament against beings from across the galaxy, with Earth standing and the cosmic community at stake. "So," Sophia said, breaking the silence, "anyone else feeling like they've jumped into the deep end of the pool?" Ivan chuckled, the tension breaking slightly. "More like we've jumped into an ocean on an alien world." Zara, her eyes bright with determination, stood up. "Then we'll learn to swim. We didn't come this far to give up now. Whatever happens, we face it together." The others nodded in agreement. They had 6 hours until the opening ceremony. 6 hours to center themselves, to remember all they had learned, and to prepare for the challenge of their lives. As they each found their own space to meditate and prepare, a sense of unity settled over the team. They were no longer just 5 individuals. They were Earth's champions, ready to show the galaxy what humanity was made of. Outside their quarters, the vast space station hummed with activity. Thousands of alien spectators and competitors were arriving, each with their own hopes and ambitions. But for the human team, there was only one goal: to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. The Cosmic Combat Tournament was about to begin, and with it, the greatest test humanity had ever faced. The next few days would determine not just their own fates, but potentially the future of their entire species. As the hours ticked down to the opening ceremony, Earth's champions steeled themselves for the battles ahead, ready to fight with every ounce of skill, strength, and spirit they possessed. The tournament begins, humans versus advanced weaponry. The grand arena pulsed with energy as thousands of alien spectators filled the stands. The Earth team stood in a dimly lit tunnel, the roar of the crowd vibrating through the floor beneath their feet. Each wore a simple uniform bearing the flag of their home planet, a blue and green sphere that now seemed so distant. "Remember," Quaim said, his voice steady despite the tension, "we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone back home." As if on cue, a booming voice echoed through the stadium, silencing the crowd. "Beings of the galaxy, welcome to the 1000th Cosmic Combat Tournament." The tunnel before them lit up, and the team strode out onto the arena floor. The sight that greeted them was beyond their wildest imaginations. The fighting area was a massive circular platform that seemed to hover in midair, surrounded by shimmering force fields. Above, holographic displays showed close-ups of the competitors and stats in a myriad of alien languages. As the Earth team took their place among the other competitors, they couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and intimidation. Some of the alien warriors towered over them, while others were so small they could barely be seen. Many bore exoskeletons or cybernetic enhancements that gleamed under the arena lights. Zixel, the tournament overseer, floated to the center of the arena. "Competitors, you have been chosen as the finest warriors of your respective worlds. Over the next few days, you will face challenges that will test not just your physical prowess, but your adaptability, strategy, and spirit." The rules were explained. Each round would feature one-on-one combat, with the specific conditions changing for each match. The use of external weapons was forbidden, but natural abilities and biological enhancements were permitted. As the first matches began, the humans watched intently, trying to glean any information they could about their potential opponents. They saw beings that could alter their physical form at will, others that generated energy fields from their bodies, and some that moved with such speed they seemed to teleport. Sophia leaned in, her voice hushed. "This is insane. How are we supposed to compete against that?" "We stick to our strengths," Raj replied, his eyes never leaving the current match. "They may have abilities we can't match, but we have something they don't. Millennia of human martial arts designed to overcome stronger opponents." The team's first test came sooner than expected. Zora's name flashed on the giant screens, paired against a hulking creature from a high-gravity world. As she stepped into the ring, the alien crowd murmured in a mixture of curiosity and dismissal. To them, the human looked fragile, almost delicate compared to her mammoth opponent. Zora took a deep breath, centering herself as she'd done countless times before. The signal to begin echoed through the arena, and her opponent charged, the ground shaking with each step. What happened next left the audience stunned. Zora moved with fluid grace, her Wing Chun techniques allowing her to deflect and redirect her opponent's immense strength. She struck with precision, targeting nerve clusters and weak points that seemed universal even among alien physiologies. The match ended with Zora's opponent on the ground, immobilized by a series of rapid strikes that exploited its slow, lumbering movements. A hush fell over the arena, followed by a wave of excited chatter. The humans had made their mark. As the tournament progressed, each member of the Earth team faced increasingly difficult challenges. Ivan found himself grappling with a gelatinous being that could alter its density at will. Sophia's capoeira proved devastatingly effective against a multi-limbed alien that relied too heavily on its natural advantages. Quaim's iron-hard defense withstood attacks that could shatter stone, while Raj's fluid movements and precise strikes overcame opponents twice his size. But it wasn't all victories. The team faced setbacks that tested their resolve. During one particularly grueling match, Quaim suffered a severe injury when his opponent's acidic sweat burned through his skin. The medical technology available patched him up, but the pain and limited mobility were a stark reminder of the dangers they faced. As they progressed through the ranks, the human team began to attract attention. Alien spectators who had initially dismissed them as primitive now watched their matches with keen interest. Whispers spread through the station about the unpredictable and adaptable fighting styles of the Earth warriors. Between matches, the team pushed themselves to adapt to the changing conditions of each bout. They trained in variable gravity, extreme temperatures, and even underwater environments. Their bodies ached and fatigue set in, but their determination never wavered. One evening, as they nursed their wounds and prepared for the next day's challenges, Zura voiced a concern they'd all been feeling. "We're holding our own for now, but the opponents are getting tougher. How long can we keep this up?" Ivan, wrapping a bandage around his bruised ribs, grinned despite the pain. "As long as we have to. We've already surpassed everyone's expectations, especially our own. We can't stop now." Raj nodded in agreement. "Remember what we learned back home. It's not always about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about reading your opponent, adapting to the situation, and using their strengths against them." As the tournament entered its later stages, the challenges became more complex. One match took place in a zero-gravity environment, forcing the humans to completely rethink their techniques. Another was held in complete darkness, with only infrared displays for the audience to follow the action. Through it all, the Earth team's resourcefulness shone through. They combined their diverse styles, developed new techniques on the fly, and pushed the limits of what they thought possible. Their matches became some of the most anticipated events of the tournament, with aliens of all species crowding to witness the unpredictable humans in action. But as they advanced, so did the whispers of concern among some of the alien officials. The humans were proving to be more than just a novelty. They were genuine contenders. Some feared the implications of such a young species performing so well. Others saw potential in humanity's adaptability and fighting spirit. As the team prepared for the semifinals, they knew the greatest challenges were yet to come. The remaining competitors were the elite of the elite, beings with abilities that seemed to defy the laws of physics as humans understood them. Gathered in their quarters, bruised but unbroken, the Earth team faced a moment of truth. "We've come further than anyone thought possible," Quaim said, looking each of his teammates in the eye. "But now we have a choice to make. We can be satisfied with what we've achieved, or we can push ourselves beyond our limits and show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." The response was unanimous. They had not come this far to back down now. As they stepped out of their quarters, ready to face whatever the tournament threw at them next, they carried with them not just their own determination, but the hopes and dreams of every human back on Earth. The semifinals loomed, promising battles unlike anything they had faced before. But Earth's champions were ready, their spirits unbroken, their resolve stronger than ever. The greatest test of human skill, adaptability, and spirit was about to begin, and the entire galaxy was watching. Adapting and overcoming, humans pushed their limits. The semifinals of the Cosmic Combat Tournament brought challenges that pushed the human team to the very edge of their capabilities. As they stepped into the arena for their respective matches, the air crackled with tension and anticipation. Sophia was the first to face her semifinal opponent, a being composed entirely of living energy. The match took place in a specially designed containment field that allowed the energy being to maintain its form while protecting the audience from its radiant power. As the bout began, Sophia found her capoeira techniques passing harmlessly through her opponent's body. Thinking quickly, she adapted her strategy, using the momentum of her movements to create air currents that disrupted her opponent's form. It was a grueling match that pushed Sophia to her physical and mental limits, but in the end, her creativity and adaptability prevailed. Ivan's semifinal match proved to be equally challenging. His opponent was a creature that could split into multiple smaller versions of itself, each acting independently. The Sambo master found himself grappling with a constantly shifting number of adversaries, forcing him to rethink his entire approach to combat. Drawing on his tactical training, Ivan managed to identify the prime version among the copies. In a display of strategic brilliance, he maneuvered the copies into hindering each other, ultimately allowing him to subdue the prime and claim victory. As the team regrouped between matches, they shared insights and strategies. The toll of the tournament was evident in their bruised bodies and exhausted faces, but their spirits remained unbroken. "We're so close," Zara said, her voice a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "But the finals, they're going to be on another level entirely." Raj nodded solemnly. "We've come further than anyone thought possible. Whatever happens next, we've already proven that humanity belongs here among the stars." The final day of the tournament arrived, and with it came an announcement that sent shockwaves through the entire station. Due to the unprecedented performance of the human team, the tournament committee had decided to alter the format of the finals. Instead of individual matches, the final round would be a team event, Earth's 5 champions against the top 5 runners-up from other worlds. As the team prepared for this ultimate challenge, tension rose within their ranks. The pressure of representing their entire species on this galactic stage was beginning to wear on them. Quaim, still nursing his injury from earlier in the tournament, questioned his ability to contribute. "Maybe I should sit this one out," he said during their final strategy session. "I don't want to be a liability." "Not a chance," Ivan replied firmly. "We started this together. We'll finish it together. Your experience and leadership are just as valuable as your fighting skills." The team's unity was tested further when an alien official approached them privately, offering advanced cybernetic enhancements that would level the playing field against their technologically superior opponents. The offer was tempting, promising to bridge the gap between human physiology and the incredible abilities of their alien competitors. A heated debate erupted among the team. Sophia argued that accepting the enhancements would prove they could adapt to new technologies quickly. Zara countered that it would undermine everything they had worked for, proving that humans couldn't compete on their own merits. In the end, it was Raj who settled the argument. "Our strength lies not in our bodies, but in our spirits and minds," he said calmly. "We've come this far by being quintessentially human. That's how we'll see this through to the end." With their resolve strengthened, the team entered the arena for the final match. The crowd was larger than ever, with beings from across the galaxy tuned in to witness this unprecedented event. The stakes were clear. This match would determine not just the tournament champions, but potentially the future of human-alien relations. The final arena was a marvel of alien technology, a vast, shifting landscape that changed its environment every few minutes. One moment, the team found themselves in a low-gravity, rocky terrain. The next in a dense, high-gravity jungle. The challenges were compounded by their opponents, a collection of the most formidable alien warriors in the galaxy, each with abilities that seemed to defy the laws of physics. As the match began, the human team faced their greatest test yet. They were outmatched in terms of raw power and alien abilities, but they had one advantage: their incredible teamwork and adaptability. Zara's Wing Chun techniques proved devastatingly effective in the low-gravity environments, allowing her to launch rapid-fire attacks that kept their opponents off balance. Sophia's capoeira came into its own in the dense jungle settings, her acrobatic movements allowing her to navigate the terrain with ease while confusing their alien adversaries. Ivan's sambo grappling found new applications in the ever-changing gravity as he used the environmental shifts to amplify his throws and takedowns. Raj's Kalarapayattu techniques, rooted in harmony with nature, allowed him to adapt seamlessly to each new environment. And Quaim, despite his injury, proved to be the team's anchor. His strategic mind helped coordinate their efforts, turning what could have been chaos into a beautifully choreographed dance of combat. As the match progressed, the human team found themselves holding their own against opponents who, on paper, should have easily overpowered them. Their ability to adapt on the fly, to combine their diverse styles in innovative ways, and to use the changing environment to their advantage began to turn the tide. The alien audience watched in awe as the humans demonstrated a level of teamwork and adaptability rarely seen in the tournament. Commentators marveled at how 5 individuals with such different fighting styles could work together so seamlessly. In the final moments of the match, with both teams battered and exhausted, the arena shifted one last time. The environment changed to a perfect replica of Earth's varied terrains, from mountains to deserts, forests to coastlines. It was as if the tournament itself was acknowledging the human's journey. In this familiar setting, Earth's champions found a final reservoir of strength. Moving as one, they launched a coordinated attack that showcased the very best of human martial arts and teamwork. Their alien opponents, formidable as they were, found themselves overwhelmed by the sheer unpredictability and versatility of the human fighting spirit. As the final buzzer sounded, a hush fell over the arena. The human team stood together, battered but unbowed, awaiting the judge's decision. The moment seemed to stretch into eternity. Then the announcement came. Against all odds, Earth's champions had emerged victorious. The arena erupted in a cacophony of alien cheers and exclamations. The human team embraced, tears of joy and exhaustion mingling, as the reality of their achievement sank in. They had done more than win a tournament. They had proven humanity's worth on a galactic stage. As they stood there, basking in their victory, the team knew that this was just the beginning. They had opened the door for humanity's integration into the wider galactic community. The challenges ahead would be many, but they had shown that humans were ready to face them. In that moment, looking out at the sea of alien faces cheering for them, Earth's champions felt the weight of their accomplishment. They had not just represented their planet, they had reshaped its future among the stars. The final showdown and Earth's new standing. The aftermath of the Earth team's victory in the Cosmic Combat Tournament sent shockwaves throughout the galactic community. As the human champions stood on the winner's podium, their battered bodies contrasting sharply with the gleaming trophy they held, the implications of their triumph began to ripple across the stars. Zixel, the tournament overseer, approached the team, its multitude of eyes blinking in what seemed to be a mixture of surprise and respect. "Champions of Earth," it intoned, its thoughts resonating in their minds, "you have achieved what many thought impossible. Your victory here today will be remembered for generations to come." As the team descended from the podium, they were swarmed by alien reporters and delegates, each clamoring for a statement or insight into the humans' unexpected success. Quaim, as the team's unofficial spokesperson, stepped forward. "We came here as representatives of Earth, unsure of our place in this vast universe," he began, his voice steady despite his exhaustion. "We leave not just as champions, but as proof that humanity is ready to join the galactic community as equals. Our strength lies not in advanced technology or innate abilities, but in our adaptability, our diversity, and our indomitable spirit." His words, translated and broadcast across countless alien worlds, sparked intense discussions and debates. Some alien races saw the humans' victory as a threat to the established order, while others recognized the potential for a new and valuable ally in the cosmic arena. In the days following the tournament, as the team prepared for their journey home, they found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of diplomatic activity. Alien ambassadors sought audiences, keen to establish relations with Earth. Scientists requested permission to study human physiology, intrigued by their ability to compete without technological enhancements. But it wasn't all positive attention. The team also became aware of whispers and concerned glances from some quarters. Their victory had upset the balance of power, and not everyone was pleased with the prospect of a new player on the galactic stage. As they packed their belongings, a somber mood fell over the team. The euphoria of their victory was tempered by the weight of responsibility they now carried. "What happens when we get back?" Zar asked, voicing the concern they all shared. "Everything's going to change, isn't it?" Sophia nodded, her usual exuberance subdued. "We're not just athletes anymore. We're going to be the face of humanity to the rest of the galaxy." Raj, ever the calm center of the group, spoke up. "Then we must ensure we represent the best of what humanity has to offer. Our victory here was not just about physical prowess, but about the strength of the human spirit. That's what we need to carry forward." Their return journey to Earth was marked by a mix of anticipation and apprehension. As their ship approached the familiar blue marble of their home world, they marveled at how different it looked now, knowing what lay beyond. The landing site was a sea of humanity. Millions had gathered to welcome home their champions, with billions more watching the live broadcast around the world. As the team stepped off the ship, trophy in hand, the roar of the crowd was deafening. World leaders jostled for position, eager to be seen with the team that had put Earth on the galactic map. Scientists peppered them with questions about alien technology and biology. And through it all, their families waited patiently, tears of pride and relief in their eyes. In the weeks and months that followed, the impact of the team's victory continued to unfold. Earth was officially invited to join the Galactic Federation, opening up new avenues for trade, cultural exchange, and scientific advancement. The United Nations underwent a radical restructuring to handle extraterrestrial affairs, with the tournament team serving as key advisors. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The influx of alien technology and ideas caused social upheaval. Some embraced the change, while others feared the loss of human identity in the face of cosmic diversity. The team found themselves not just athletes, but diplomats, mediating between Earth and the stars. 1 year after their victory, the team gathered at a newly constructed interstellar port, watching as the first official Earth embassy ship prepared to launch for the galactic capital. "Did you ever imagine this is where we'd end up?" Ivan asked, gesturing at the sleek ship that melded human and alien design. Quaim shook his head, a small smile on his face. "Never. But I wouldn't change a thing. We opened the door. Now it's up to all of humanity to step through it." As they stood there, Earth's champions reflected on their journey. They had entered the cosmic combat tournament as underdogs, carrying the hopes of their planet. They had emerged not just as victors, but as the catalyst for a new era in human history. The challenges ahead were many. Earth would need to navigate complex galactic politics, balance progress with preserving human culture, and prove time and again that their victory was no fluke. But as the embassy ship lifted off, carrying humanity's aspirations to the stars, there was a sense of hope and possibility that stretched across the planet. Zara, watching the ship disappear into the sky, voiced what they were all feeling. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" Raj nodded, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "Indeed it is. We've shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. Now it's time to show ourselves." As they turned to face the crowd of reporters and officials waiting for them, Earth's champions stood tall, ready to guide their species into a new age. They had fought not just for victory, but for humanity's place among the stars. And in doing so, they had opened up a future filled with endless possibilities. The story of humanity's first steps into the galactic community had begun, written not with advanced technology or overwhelming force, but with the age-old strengths of adaptability, diversity, and the indomitable human spirit. As night fell and the stars became visible, they seemed to shine a little brighter, beckoning humanity towards its cosmic destiny.